stopped and arrested on 290 in Worcester. He's due back in court on February 6th.
More credit card skimmers were found at Roach Brothers stores. The company says on Christmas Eve, a worker at the Sudbury Farm store in Sudbury noticed an issue with one of the self-checkout lanes. They checked all the registers and found 2 skimmers. The company says it also found skimmers at the Sudbury Farms in Needham, Brothers Marketplace in Weston, and the Roach Brothers supermarkets in Wellesley and Natick. The skimmers were all found in the self-checkout lines. They're used to steal financial information. Well, so far, the company says no customer information has been stolen. Well, Massachusetts State Police tell us 2 people are in custody after an armed carjacking in Randolph. A third person still on the run. Troopers say the car was found on Brush Hill Road in Milton. This was the heavy police response in that area earlier this afternoon.
Well, first night is just days away, and for the first time ever, it's happening at Boston City Hall. News Center 5's Sharman Zucchetti is live there and now with what we can all expect. Sharman.
Sean, Copley is under construction for the most part, so a lot of the events are being moved here to City Hall Plaza, which was newly renovated. It's happening for the first time. For the first time, City Hall Plaza hosting some of Boston's New Year's Eve celebrations. Ice sculptures of Boston landmarks and musical performances among what you'll see outside, inside hours worth of children's activities.
We are excited to bring in the new year full of joy and community and health and peace.
Boston police say there are no credible threats to the event. They say they'll be out in full force all over the city and want people to call 911 if any parties get out of hand.
We will have a strong presence throughout all our Boston neighborhoods.
Events include comedy shows at the Improv Asylum in the North End, free carousel rides on the Greenway, a parade to Boston Common, a figure skating show at the Frog Pond, and 2 fireworks shows.
Subway service will operate on a Sunday schedule, but will increase services starting at 3 p.m. to accommodate the expected large volume of ridership.
The tea is free starting at 8 o'clock at night on New Year's Eve. Parking restrictions are in place. Organizers stress first night is a family-friendly event. It means no alcohol, no marijuana use, no flying drones, and no fireworks.
Please, let the professionals do the fireworks shows.
First Night Boston started back in 1976. It's been moved away from Copley, officials say, because of construction.
Please come to City Hall. Free, family, fun, something for everyone from noon till midnight.
And so the fireworks shows, there were 2 of them. The first one will happen over Boston Common. That happens around 7 o'clock at night. And then the second one happens over the harbor, and that's expected to happen around midnight. We're live here on Boston City Hall Plaza. Sharman Zucchetti, WCVB News Center 5.
A lot of fun, Sharman. Thank you. New York City is preparing for the annual ball drop in Times Square. Ahead at 5:30, the security plan in place with heightened concerns around the world.
Well, the Patriots are back on the practice field today with some momentum after their win in Denver.
That's right. Sports Center 5's Angel Saucedo is live at Foxborough, where the Pats are prepping for a weekend in Buffalo, Angel.
Yeah, these 2 teams played each other back in October when the Patriots won on a game-winning touchdown, but a lot has changed between these 2 teams since then.
Second and goal. Jones swings it. Touchdown!
Mac Jones sealed the victory against the Bills back in October, but there will be a different face in the pocket this time around.
So it's going to be, a tough challenge for us to, see what they're doing versus us and just, execute what we're trying to do.
And although Bailey Zappi watched their first matchup from the sideline, I asked him what he learned from that game and what he's taking into this Sunday.
Coach always says I can't make any yards until I get rid of the ball. So it's going to be up to me to kind of, see what they're trying to do. It's going to be hard because those guys play really well. They played for a long time. So, it's going to be a lot of film watching and trying to get an understanding of those guys.
Meanwhile, the Bills have found their stride after a grueling overtime loss to the Eagles in late November.
Markwood's a good team. 3 weeks ago, everybody was talking about how much trouble they were in. And they come off and rip off 3 straight wins. So here we are.
So the Pats will have to game plan against a new run-heavy offense, ran through running back James Cook, that has helped bring the Bills to second place in the AFC East.
That's just another opportunity for us to showcase what we have against the run. It makes me excited because I love when we get to play a run-heavy team.
Get to work on them here, today, and be ready to roll up there on Sunday. Get some extra suntan lotion, sunglasses.
It's also important to note that quarterback Josh Allen has thrown 15 interceptions this year. That's the second most of any starting quarterback in the league here, so it'll probably help if the Patriots defense can secure a pick or two on Sunday. In Foxborough, Angel Salcido, WCVB Sports Center 5.
All right, Angel, thank you. You know, he crossed the finish line and achieved a goal he never dreamed he could reach.
But in tonight's Better by the Mile, our Matt Reed reveals how the Boston Marathon became so much more than a race to Boylston Street.
Well, maybe this guy was on his way to Whoville. I don't know. The driver dressed as the Grinch was involved in a minor crash in New Hampshire. Mike.
Well, speaking of the Boston Marathon, temperatures today are more typical what we would see during the Boston Marathon. However, I have some colder, more normal temperatures headed in the forecast. I'll show you when they get here.
You're watching WCVB News Center 5 at 5.
Well, check this out. Cars were covered in dust in New York City after a steam pipe burst. A leak started in Manhattan overnight and the pipe burst hours later. No injuries were reported, but officials say there is a possibility that asbestos was released. Residents in nearby buildings are being advised to shelter in place, and first responders are escorting those who are concerned out of the area.
Well, you know, all year, our partnership with the Boston Athletic Association, we have demonstrated how getting better by the mile can start with just one step.
And few people know that, like our own Matt Reed. So he retraced a few of his own amazing steps on his journey to the Boston Marathon finish line and found it was about so much more than running a race.
Really good runners. You don't just get to walk up to the starting.
April 17th, 2023, a day I will never forget.
I almost cried like 10 times on this thing.
When I look back at running the Boston Marathon for the first time, I think about the sea of people cheering us on, the high fives and photos I shared with friends and family, but also the millions of dollars raised by all these runners, including some of my teammates on the Boston Children's Hospital Miles for Miracles team that we told you about here on Channel 5. He's the youngest runner on Boston Children's Miles for Miracles team.
That final turn, when you can see the finish line, was definitely pretty special. It was just an honor to be able to give back to the hospital and specifically the team, that has done so much for me, so much for my family.
And people were like, "You're the best aunt ever." Then they would follow through and look at the back and they would be like, "I'm so proud of you." Like, I have chills talking about that. Lauren and I did a very small part in raising almost $20,000, but collectively, our team raised millions. funds. And then to see how those funds are put to use and to change the lives of those patients and providing the hope and the care and the treatment, it's unbelievable.
Now, as for what's ahead of me, I'm sitting this year's marathon out, but I'll be cheering louder than ever, returning the favor to all those people who helped me finish those 26.2 miles.
Until you do it, you can't really describe it.
Matt Reed, WCVB News Center 5.
That's great. Exeter, New Hampshire police are investigating after an SUV veered off the road and hit a sign and mailbox. It happened on Christmas night, and police say the person behind the wheel was dressed, take a look, as the Grinch. These pictures here from the scene. That is a pretty spot-on Grinch costume right there. The incident happened near the Word Barn on Newfields Road. Now, right now, there are no charges against that driver. Police say there was significant damage, though, to that SUV.
Well, ski resorts in northern New England are quickly getting up to speed after last week's devastating rain and all that flooding there. Lost Valley in Maine is one of the resorts hit hard by the storm. The family-owned hill needed $100,000 of repairs to reopen for Christmas vacation week.
We had some downed tree limbs, entire trees, took out snowmaking line and light lines that we were able to repair, but definitely caused some damage, and we lost 2 or 3 days of skiing too.
Yeah, Lost Valley and other resorts are all open this week, but many report smaller crowds than usual due to all the rain and warm weather.
Yeah, hopefully those slopes could recover. All right, Mike Wonkum, though, this rain is really not helping matters.
Oh, no. And they had such a really great start because we had enough cold weather. They were making some snow. And then we got all that rain and the record warmth with it. Not only did it just, wash things away, but it melted so much of that was coming through. And I've also talked to some friends of mine that have been up towards Killington and things like that. They said there's still some roads up there that have got washed out that still are in need of repair. Well, today, once again, it was another warm one. Not records, but 53 degrees. That's pretty warm for the end of December. Norwood hitting 55 for a high temperature today. There's a view over the city right now. Starting to see a little bit of this fog kind of working its way in, and we'll probably see that tonight along with the rain coming through. You see it's 46 degrees and the dew point matches it at 46 degrees. That means the relative humidity stands at 100%. If you don't have much of a breeze and you cool things down, you start to lose visibility. So right now, officially, the visibility is 2 miles. Out through Worcester County, visibility is unrestricted at this point, but I do expect that visibility to kind of drop a little bit tonight. Also, we're bringing this mild air in, and it's got rain with it at this point. It's all been really light stuff, most of it west of Worcester so far today, but starting to see a little development now down through Rhode Island, lifting its way into the southeastern part of the state, over the islands and headed for the Cape pretty quickly. But it's not really anything too heavy. It's just light rain that we're talking about. But if you look closer at it, you'll see how it's really kind of hit or miss at best. Around Concord, we're picking up a little light shower right now. Down to the south, this is where some steadier rains are around Providence at this point. And then as you look way out here to the west, it kind of breaks up just a little bit. But if you go farther to the west, we've got some downpours out here. So that's why I say we'll see light showers going till, say, around midnight. After midnight, we may get the occasional downpour. Not ever the question, we could even have a rumble of thunder with this thing. And then we'll see the steadiest rains early tomorrow morning, and they'll be tapering off as we head through the afternoon. So here's what it looks like around 8 o'clock tonight. Kind of a steady light rain out there. There might be the occasional light downpour as you look down towards the Cape and the islands. And then after midnight, we start to get the downpours working their way in. These will then cut their way across the state. This is 5 o'clock in the morning. Early commuters, be advised, you're probably going to have some rain to deal with, and it may be slowing things down just a little bit. But this system is fairly progressive. So by 11 o'clock in the morning, it's still raining, still occasional downpours, but by the time we get to afternoon, it's kind of winding down to a few scattered showers, and that's about all. There'll be a lot of gray skies tomorrow, but temperature-wise, not that bad. Now, jump ahead to Friday morning. Again, we've got some scattered showers out there, but this time around, notice the temperatures are a little bit cooler, which means there's an outside chance there might be a few wet snowflakes mixing in with this one. Saturday morning, the same type of thing. Some scattered showers out there and just cold enough that we could get that. And I do think that threat of any kind of snow shower activity is going to be north and west of the city. I think as far as Boston's concerned, we're not going to see any snow at all out of this whole thing. So here you see how much rain is going to fall between tonight and tomorrow morning and through the afternoon. Generally less than a half inch of rain north the Pike. South the Pike, there could be some areas that do pick up a little more than an inch of rain. But the chances for rain go way down once we head to the new year. chances almost zero, in fact, as we head for January 1. All right, you'll see that it happens tomorrow. We've got the rain, especially during the morning. Your Friday, a few showers, pretty likely won't see much sunshine, and we won't see much rain out of it either. And then on Saturday, even less of a chance of some showers, but it is just a little bit cooler. So maybe we'll get a little wintry mix off of the north and west, and that would be welcomed by any of the ski places. As we head for our Sunday, skies clear away. First night looking very nice right now, cool and comfortable. And we'll keep that sunshine going into the new year, but temperatures getting back to where they're supposed to be, not the 50s that we got to enjoy today. Jessica?
All right, Mike, thank you. So, hey, if you plan to make holiday returns by mail, be prepared to pay extra. Analysts report more than 80% of retailers are now charging a fee for returns. That includes popular stores like Macy's, Abercrombie, J.Crew, and H&M. Amazon has also implemented a $1 fee to return items to UPS stores. Analysts say the fees help make up for the cost of shipping and the price markdown on the item returned to be resold.
Well, the Rose Parade is coming up on New Year's Day, and volunteers are racing against the clock to complete their floats. This was the scene at the Fiesta Floats facility in Irwindale, California, where 5 floats are under construction there. The theme for the 135th Tournament of the Roses Parade is celebrating the world of music, and you can watch it live right here on Channel 5 starting at 11 a.m. on New Year's Day.
You know, it's one of the most visited places in the world.
Yeah, but today the Eiffel Tower was shut down. Coming up, why crowds of tourists were turned away. This is new on 5. Visitors were upset to find the Eiffel Tower shut down today. A strike was declared ahead of contract negotiations with the city of Paris, which owns the 134-year-old monument. Tourists, though, can still access the glass-enclosed esplanade beneath the tower, but the landmark itself is closed until further notice. But, you know, New Year's in Paris is still pretty nice, right?
I would imagine so, right?
Yeah. Well, in fact, record-breaking travel continues this holiday season. The TSA tells us they screened 2.65 million people yesterday.
Ooh, but as ABC's Melissa Adon reports, busy airports and roads are seeing some delays due to weather.
Cleanup is underway in North Dakota after a massive winter storm blew through the heartland. That storm bringing heavy rain and dense fog to the northeast. In some parts of Connecticut, visibility was zero, the fog leading to long lines, delays, and cancellations at Bradley International Airport outside Hartford.
Fog was definitely a concern when we got on the road, but I was very surprised when I saw these lines.
Airports breaking records. TSA screening more than 14.5 million people at airports between last Wednesday, when the holiday rush began, through Christmas Day, screening almost 2 million more people than last year.
I have noticed that it's been a lot busier the last couple times we traveled.
More than 100 flights canceled today, and Friday is expected to be the busiest day for travel ahead of the new year.
I'm in for an early flight at 5 a.m. and found out it was canceled, so I am rebooked and hoping to get out of here around noon.
Out west, yet another storm is bringing heavy rain to Northern California and into Oregon and Washington state. High wind alerts have been issued. That storm then expected to bring rain to Southern California. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A man waits to be rescued for days after crashing his car.
Yeah, so coming up, how some fishermen walking by finally heard his cries for help.
And new on 5, a local high schooler excels on the football field despite a challenge. How he's overcome a limb difference and caught the eyes of college recruiters.
WCVB News Center 5 at 5:30 starts right now.
3 people were shot outside a Pizza Hut in Lynn, and right now police are looking for whoever pulled the trigger.
News Center 5's Emily Maha is live in Lynn with the investigation. Emily.
Well, Sean, Jen, this busy shopping plaza was turned into a crime scene last night. You can see the Pizza Hut here behind me boarded up as police search for whoever's responsible for shooting those 3 people, seriously hurting them, sending them to the hospital.
It's just wild to think that shootings are like happening all the time here.
It's not safe at all. I don't feel comfortable here.
Safety is top of mind for many who live near and go to the shopping plaza, where police say 3 people were shot.
It's usually busy, this parking lot, a lot of times. So
So it could have been bad. It could have been way more people got shot.
Yellow police tape and flashing lights filled the usually busy parking lot around 8:30 last night. Bullets shattering the glass windows and door of the Pizza Hut, where witnesses say they heard screeching tires and gunshots.
Yeah, I live in Lynn, but I want to move as soon because this just keeps skyrocketing every year, which is not okay.
Natalie Solis lives in Lynn. She grew up here. She says young people shouldn't have to feel like gun violence is normal.
Growing up here in Lynn, we've never really felt safe, but I guess kids, we get used to it, that it just doesn't really bother us, but I feel like we shouldn't get used to it.
Police say the 3 people who were shot are seriously hurt, rushed to the hospital. Now, as they search for whoever pulled the trigger, some say the violence across the city is frustrating.
There's already a lot of trauma going on in this city, and it's not fair for those innocent ones.
And we've reached out to police multiple times today for an update on the case, including how the 3 people who were shot are doing tonight. We haven't heard back. At this point, police have not said whether they have any suspects. No arrests have been made. Live in Lynn, Emily Maha, WCVB News Center 5.